So what's going on, guys? It's Captain America. Hope you guys are well, and thank you so much for coming onto this channel. So for this one again, we're going to be starting off with the match stats. So it was a 0-0 draw for this game. It was a very tough opposition game. Honestly, I feel that they could have easily won this because we both had 6 shots in total per team. But they had around 4 shots that hit like the post and the crossbar. So again, you know, it was a great defensive performance on our side to get the clean sheet. But again, we could have scored as well. I think it could have gone both ways. You know, we had 48 possession overall. For my stats, I had an 8.4 match rating, which was a very strong defensive performance again. 8 possessions won, and then I lost it 4 times. It was just silly passes I was making. And again, it was very late night. And then 4 tackles at 50%. So again, do enjoy the game. You know, it was a fantastic clean sheet defensive performance. You know, we did play some good passing football as well. And yeah, we did get into good attacking positions. It was a tough opposition, so yeah, it was a fair 0-0 draw, let's say. And again, it was a fantastic performance in the boys, especially as we had 10 team players compared to like the opposition that had 11. So again, it was a nice little opportunity to play close to 11 versus 11 again. So yeah, do enjoy. And what we're really going to be talking about today is the FIFA 23 update that they've just announced. So we're going to be discussing about that, plus about Arsenal and where I feel that they're going to be positioned in the Premier League, and you know, thoughts and insight in terms of their transfers and the individual players that they've purchased, as well as who they're rumoured for. So yeah, stick around and it will be a fantastic little video, especially talking about FIFA. You know, FIFA 23, I've been hyping it up for the past, I don't know, week or two, or even longer now, because for the fact that they've mentioned that crossplay will be enabled for all platforms. Now, the news that's just come in is they've mentioned that, oh, you know, crossplays will be enabled, but it's going to be enabled for mainly 1 versus 1 like competition. So you're talking about, you know, if you're playing online 1 versus 1, you can play across all platforms. Plus, of course, what's included is their baby child, which is called Ultimate Team. You know, they've spent so much money on Ultimate Team, and all the changes and everything that they do is all on Ultimate Team. And it's upsetting, especially for like the pro club side of things, because nothing has changed for so many years. You know, I've been playing pro clubs for like, I think over 10 years or so now. I don't know how long, but it's ridiculously long on how far we've come from the beginning to where we are now with minimal changes. You know, all we're asking for is cross-play, in which we will be able to enable us to play with our friends, you know, on other platforms, because I've come from like PlayStation 4 over across to PC. And of course, without the crossplay side of things, I've had to, you know, find a new team. You know, the team I was playing with on PlayStation was fantastic. So, you know, that's all we require, and especially with so many games out there that are crossplay enabled. It's just so strange that FIFA's so behind on a simple crossplay that's been, you know, shared for many years now from like the content creators and the community itself. It's just so disappointing that they can't even enable crossplay. I think it's just so stupid. But when they do enable crossplay, they do it for like their baby child, as mentioned, which is called Ultimate Team. You know, all these macro transactions as well as micro transactions that they make from this Ultimate Team, of course, is generating money. But the thing is, so many players are now growing and playing within the pro club scene, because, you know, you could go into the esports. You know, we have some fantastic competitions. Virtual Pro Gaming does some fantastic pro clubs competitions, and they're in the remits of the regions which are international, and it's so good to see, especially with a lot of the now football clubs sponsoring and doing esports as well. You've got the QPR side of things, which is fantastic. And then, you know, you also got the German league, the Pro League in Germany, which we are looking at, you know, signing up to and competing for next season. And it's just, again, it's just something that's disappointing with the crossplay. Let's see if they do change anything, but it's highly doubtful, especially if this news has come through with like literally just a couple of months or months left for the launch of FIFA 23. So no, I think that's a bit disappointing. It'll be good to see if they do share anything. But again, Pro Clubs is growing, and they've now mentioned that they're going to put Volta. You know, this like, I don't know, Pro Streets or whatever it is. You know how we had it in the old days where you could do like the 5-a-side or whatever it is. They're going to be bringing that into the Pro Clubs. But I've never played that game mode. I don't know if anyone has given that game mode a chance, Volta, but I've never played it, so I don't know how it's going to be integrated in like the Pro Clubs side of things. Maybe they'll have like divisions similar to like pro clubs, going from like Division 10 to Division 1, but I don't know, maybe they already got that. I have no idea. I don't play Volta. The only thing I play is pro clubs. And again, with like the pro club side of things, we've been mentioning as a community for a while now, You know, substitutions is something that should be integrated with the amount of players that do come online. You know, you'd rather have like maybe 5 players as human players on the bench, and you can make substitutions throughout the game. And I was mentioning this on like a video, I think it's been a month ago, where it'll be good to have because it's going to be more realistic, because of course the stamina is going to be going down, the player starts getting a bit slow with their reactions, and of course if you're going to be competing against someone that's come on the substitution bench on the actual pitch itself, that is fully, let's say, has a full stamina bar, it's always going to be hard to compete, and that's what makes it more realistic. And I don't know what they do with FIFA, man, but it's just so bad. Like, they literally haven't done much in general for the game. They've just been changing the name of the game from like FIFA 20 to 21 to 22 with minimal changes. And I saw something that they're doing with free kicks now. Like, don't get me wrong, like in the old FIFAs like a couple of seasons ago, I was so sick with my free kicks. But then they changed it where you could do like this knuckleball, where you could change the movements and all that. Even the shot side of things, you have to get it accurate. Like, it just made it more challenging and more difficult, that my free kicks aren't great at all. And now I've seen that they've made it even more challenging on top of that, like the free kicks, where I don't know if they're trying to make it overcomplicated to like make it more difficult, but it's just really silly, man, with all these changes that they're doing, where on the game itself they just make it a bit more slower, the gameplay, or wherever the situation is, they don't make it as a great game. You know, even like spectator mode for these esports pro club scenes, you know, it would be fantastic to see these games as a spectator. I don't know if it's from like the camera view, we could just see the overall pitch, or if it's from like, you could change it from like one player to another, you know, different spectating views. I think that would be great to have. But again, from the development side of things, this isn't a huge job to do. It's just so simple. Call of Duty's been doing like spectator mode for a while. Don't get me wrong, they didn't do it for the latest game, Vanguard, but still, overall, for the past so many years of Call of Duties, they've been doing spectator mode, and it's worked so fantastic for these esports competitions, and just overviewing and viewing the games for like competitions, for friendlies, ensuring that it's, you know, a fair game. Of course, we're recording the games and streaming or whatever the case is, but it's still good to, you know, spectate a game, even for like editing purposes. So I don't know, man. I think, you know, FIFA seems to have, you know, with the latest update, it's not promising from like the pro club side of things. Of course, it is promising for like the Ultimate Team Fanatics and, you know, general online one versus one, you know, competitions. But there's so much force behind the community for like the pro clubs, and it's always growing as mentioned. So, you know, it is disappointing that we haven't seen much from the pro club side of things. Again, you know, it's so many years that it's recurring that we don't see any development. Like, even the competition side of things, they should make like, I don't know, how do you say it, like, you know, with the Call of Duty side of things, you could do the competitive modes, so that goes into like ranked modes or whatever the case is. Of course, pro clubs does have that, but if you want to make it more competitive, you know, especially with all of these pro league teams, I think that would be fantastic, especially for like a general club to just go on there and see how it is to play against like other, you know, 11 versus 11 teams. And especially if you want to do like training purposes or whatever the case is, it's always good to be competing like for like, 11 versus 11. You know, we have so many opportunities late at night where we've got a full 11 and we're searching for a game for, I don't know, like 20-30 minutes. And we just can't find anything like for the best matching for our team size. So of course we have to switch it off, and we're then playing against a team that has 2 strikers and everyone is AI, and it's just like, it's ridiculous, man. I think that's something they need to fix. Like, it's just so horrible. And you know, talking about like, even if you go into like drop-in games and you go into like just a random team, home or away, like before you could choose if you wanted to be in the home or away team, and then the teams would be full, like fairly for each thing. Now it's going to be a case, if you go into like a drop-in game for pro clubs, you might be the only one player against 5 individual human players and the rest is AI. Like, I just don't understand how or what time that they spend on pro clubs. Like, it's so minimal, and it's really disappointing, man. Just like these frustrations, they should have like a channel or like a community area, and again, we could voice as much as we want, but it's going to be very minimal in terms of them making any changes. They're looking at money, and they've always done that, and Ultimate Team is where they generate the most revenue in the FIFA side of things, and pro clubs unfortunately doesn't do that. But still, there's so much growth and potential with the pro club side of things for esports that they could get money out of, but they're just so dumb that they don't realize anything. So No, do let me know your thoughts on the latest update, guys, on the FIFA side of things for FIFA 23, and let me know what you think on the Pro Clubs area, and if you will be playing Pro Clubs next season, or if you're just going to be like, look, they're not making any changes, I'm going to leave and maybe go into like the free Pro Evolution that they've got. I don't even know what the name is called, but yeah, they've changed it. I don't know what it is to Pro Evolution, but a free copy, which isn't too bad. But yeah, so moving away now from the FIFA side of things, I really want to talk about Arsenal. I don't have much time, so it might like be continued to like the next chat I have like tomorrow with Tottenham. I'm going to be doing like a team review, but I want to do like a team review for Arsenal, and especially around like the transfers. You know, they've brought in the likes of Jesus. They've just got Zinchenko from like again Man City. They've got Fabio Vieira, who's come from the Portuguese league, who, to be honest with you, is going to be a fantastic player for Arsenal. You know, over 27 Primeira Liga, let's say the Portuguese league games that he had last season. He had 6 goals and 14 assists. Like, that is fantastic, especially for the age that he is. And I love how Arsenal always go for like youthful players. It's something that I do with my Football Manager and FIFA side of things. Whenever I do like a career mode, I always go for youth. I rarely have like an age of a player that's over 26 years. It's always under 26, and the average age of players around 20 to 21. It's just how I enjoy it, and you know, I love seeing that, and within the Arsenal side of things, and they've always done that, even with the Wenger days. So, you know, it's fantastic to see, and, you know, they've got Jesus now, who's been potent for them in the friendlies against, you know, the likes of Everton, as well as Nuremberg for Germany. But again, it is pre-season, and I was talking about it on my yesterday's video on Man United, you know, overhyping themselves in these friendlies. So, you know, Arsenal have done fantastic over this friendly side of things, and to be honest with you, I think they're going to be a team, as mentioned, that's going to be fighting for the Champions League next year. They had a rough start, don't get me wrong, with Arteta last season. You know, they were fighting in relegation for a bit, but then after that they were going on this fantastic streak. And they were so close to getting 4th, but then they done a Spursies, as we know, and they got into the Europa side of things. But as a first season for Arteta, like a complete season, I think that is a fantastic, you know, achievement that he's done, especially with the youthful team that he's gone for. And, you know, you've got Odegaard, who's going to be potentially the captain for Arsenal next season, who's got that drive, and Real Madrid missed out badly. I don't know what the hell they've done, because whenever he was on loan from Real Madrid to the other clubs, he was fantastic, but I don't know why he wasn't embedded into, like, the Real Madrid philosophy, but their loss, but Arsenal's really, really good win. And another player that they are looking at is, like, Tielemans, who's, you know, he's around 25, 26 years old. He's always been like a wonder kid on the FIFAs and the Football Managers, but, you know, he's been at Leicester now for a couple of years, and it's going to be, I think, his opportunity to move to like a club that's fighting for like Champions League or even Europa, especially as he makes and continues his progress within like the Belgium first team, national team. You know, they've got such youthful players in the Belgium side of things, and they're so great, so, you know, he's always going to be competing against other youthful players. So, you know, it's for him to move over to like a really good team. I think Arsenal will be a fantastic opportunity, especially how they play. It suits his game style. You know, Leicester were always adopting like the passing style. So, you know, I think that's going to be a fantastic purchase for them. And even Zinchenko, he's come from Man City. Yes, you know, he was operating on more of a left back, left wing back type of like position, but that wasn't his true position. He's always been like a midfielder, but, you know, that just shows his flexibility and adaptability. He was playing fantastic for Man City whenever he was on. I think there was a record that, you know, whenever he was playing for Man City, he never lost or something like that. It was something ridiculous, but again, a very good player to have for Arsenal that could operate in Tierney's position as well as Partey's position as well, or even like an attacking midfielder that he does play at for Ukraine. So I think, you know, Arsenal's a fantastic team to watch out for, I feel. You know, even the likes of Tottenham for next year with the purchases that they've made. But with Tottenham, I'll discuss more in detail for them tomorrow in tomorrow's video. And even like transfer side of things, I didn't have the opportunity because FIFA just, you know, really pissed me off, man, like with their updates for the pro club. So I do want to talk about transfers as well tomorrow, but, you know, hoping that EA does something and does acknowledge, you know, a response. That's something positive in regards to like the crossplay, because again, I was getting over happy, man. You know, our team itself, we were looking at, you know, scouting, you know, a new opportunity of players coming from like consoles. It would have been fantastic for the team's growth, but hey ho, it's not going to do it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much as always. Please do like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on tomorrow's video. Take care. Bye bye.
And with that.